and everything is up and running as a little notification. Nope. As a little notification to everybody listening, I am currently ill. However, I am being stubborn and I want to run session because I have a problem slash am the problem. So yeah, we also do not have the player for Hugmug today. So that's why Hugmug will probably not be talking the entire time. Anyway, during your previous session, you arrived at Harkvale, nearly gave Scoria a heart attack by throwing yourselves into the ocean, and then took an airship to Lenfar, where you met with the guildmaster. Turn my gain up a little more. Just noticed I'm very quiet. Isn't thing. Yeah, okay, there we go. So you found that you did in fact have information on where your matron is after meeting with a member of the Sleeping Wolves Guild, in that your matron is in hell. Literally. She is in one of the 9 circles, and you have been given the space to stay in the inn you're currently at until you can figure out where you need to go and where you need to be to essentially start recovering your matron from the hells. And we had ended off, I think, quite literally at the end of the day, as far as my brain cells can recall. If not, then that's a big whoops.
Yeah, I think so.
If we didn't, then fuck it. Oh well, that's unfortunate. L plus ratio plus get fucked. So, we are, because I can't remember what day we're on, I'm just gonna tick it over to the next one and give you guys an in-game day of rest. So it is the 13th of December, 67 AR. And you have 2 new goals you have been suggested to follow up on. The first, in finding out why your matron is in the hells. The second is figuring out how to get there. And so the morning starts as per normal. You have some breakfast at the inn, and then from there, you guys have to figure out what you're doing. So you gather in this small lounge area of the inn, where the five of you plus Mason and Xavier are present. Presuming discussing plans for what to do in terms of retrieving matron.
Okay, so I think we go try and find out more about the hells as a first thing, and then hopefully find something there.
Yeah, for instance, entrances to the hells. How the hell do we get? Hell. How do we get there?
Good question. We'll look for a library maybe in town.
Yes, because we cannot go back to the guild, so.
Mm-hmm.
Just getting a quick screenshot of something so I can remember in exact detail. So,
Scoria, Milka, what do you think?
I think that sounds like a decent idea.
Yes. Finding more about the house would be a very good idea. Yeah.
Alright, let's head out.
okay, so as you are on your way out, and preparing to basically get yourselves sorted for a explore out on the town. Marcel, you are approached by Xavier.
Oh, hello.
I'm going to be heading off to go and have a chat with an arcanist about
What for?
call it the personal thing of sorts, but I'm also going to go and find out what the ramifications of my not functional deal are going to be. And since I have not
Sure,
exactly
there will be no ramifications since it did not happen.
you would assume, but
I'm assuming that Xavier is approaching Marcel on his own.
yes.
Nobody else knows about the deal.
No. The rest of the group would basically be getting like backpacks sorted out and figuring out what they need to bring, whatever. It's just like the intermediary between leaving and actually stepping out the door.
Mm-hmm.
I know I have not exactly proven myself to be the most trustworthy because of my actions.
You could do
So
better, yes.
he reaches he reaches around his neck and into his cloak. And you hear this metal click noise. And he pulls out from underneath his cloak this beautiful golden chain. What appears to be two tiny antlers as the centerpiece of the necklace, with a sort of greyish coloured glass as the gemstone in the center of it. So I will be giving this to hold on to, for you to hold on to.
Holds his hands out.
And he puts it into your hands. That is an item very precious to me. So it is a guarantee that they will be coming back.
Thank you.
It is okay. Try not to drop them.
Then
No. And you notice that the antler parts of the casing for the greyish coloured gemstone in the centre are very uneven and rough. They are a little bit too realistic.
Strange. But if it's precious to you, then it's important to me.
No.
And Marcel puts it around his neck.
No. It will get you in a little bit.
Alright.
And he leaves,
Happy to say.
leaving the five of you and Mason remaining as you prepare to go out into the city to try and find some sort of clue as to where to go from here.
I believe we said we were going to a library.
Library.
Okay, so you go out into the town and you find that there are two bigger libraries, one of which is a cafe. It doubles as a cafe. Basically, yeah, doubles as a cafe. And let me just find my actual note on this. And one that appears to be connected to the large mage's tower that you saw in the towards the edge of the town. Those are the two bigger libraries. You do notice that one of the libraries you pass is currently closed.
Reminder where we are currently?
In Lundbar.
Lundbar, yes.
And so you have a couple of options. You can go to the library that is also a cafe, or you can go to the one that is connected to the large mage's tower.
I think the Mage Tower one will have more specialist information.
Yes, it will.
So I think we go there.
Okay?
And visitors smart.
Mhm.
Clueless. No. Okay, so you start making your way over to the mage's tower and head in the front door, as the library itself does not seem to have any sort of external entrance. And standing at the standing at the counter to what appears to be some sort of magical tome store, as like part of this large library that's attached. It seems to double as both a library and a magic scroll shop. And standing behind the counter is a large brown-furred bear man wearing some rather scholarly-looking robes, who doesn't immediately recognize you upon entering, or not recognize you, acknowledge you. But you recognize that this shop has a lot of very specialist information and a lot of general information based on how the tomes are arranged, and that you have like novice sections, intermediary sections, expert sections, and a mastery section. So
I guess we start with the novice section.
I'll go over to the novice section and look for the hells.
okay, so can you roll me an investigation? Oh my god, sorry, my phone just went off. Can you roll me an investigation check?
Investigation. My sheet. I didn't open my sheet. What am I on?
Oh dear.
Mocha, Scoria, you are more than welcome to jump in on this whilst Florian is attempting to open his sheet.
Please do
No.
jump in. 'Cause that's a investigation.
Investigates.
7 total.
Oh, 11.
7.
Okay.
I
7.
got a nat one, so I'm not even gonna bother.
19.
Okay. So, Mocha, you end up completely losing track of what you're supposed to be looking for, and end up finding a book on interplanar eats. So, different types of food that they launch into a different plane, specifically the plane of fire, to cook it
Whoa.
as a
That's
sort
pretty
of
cool.
instantaneous barbecue method
Oh my god.
for those that
I wanna
are
keep
too
this.
lazy to cook normally. Just shove it in the plane of fire if you have the capacity to open portals. And
I
cook
think
it.
that might
Probably
have to
have
be
have
something
it
I
in
need
a
to
hot
learn.
burn.
Florian, you find a book on that is titled The Hells, and it appears to be a novel of questionable content. Not so much the content itself being suspect, but more the validity of it, as it seems like a wandering bard has written this novel, as it's just full of over-the-top things that are a bit too attuned to be true. Somebody has tempered their words in this. Scoria, however, you find a book that's on the top shelf, which would explain why Florian didn't find it initially. It's titled the different planes and their subgenres and subsections. So the different parts of each different plane and their relative importance.
Okay.
And as you, I'm presuming, take the book off the shelf,
Yeah.
you get a little bit of a jump scare as you hear a voice behind you. Well, greetings. Can I assist you with your finding any books today? As the brown-furred Ursine is standing a few feet away from you, but you did not hear a single step he took approaching you. Is there any particular book that I can help you find? Or is that book in particular the one that you were looking
Sorry. Maybe jump there. I think this is the one that we are looking for. We're looking for information about the different planes.
Ah, I see. Well, if you want, I can get that book ready for you to take away, and you can return it in a few days' time. Or we do have a little seating area in the It's normally used as a lecture room, but I don't see any issue with you and your companions, I assume, using it to sit down and have a read.
I think us sitting down and having a read in that lecture room will be fine.
Of course. I will go and make sure this room is actually open. Just bear with me a moment and I will give you a shout when it is.
Alright.
And you watch as the bearman goes over to the doors and gives the handle a little shake, and the door opens immediately. And he just shrugs. He just shrugs as though perfectly normal. He turns his head to you, back to where you are. The room is open. I have just checked. So feel free to use it as and when you need, and just let me know if you want to check that book out. And he goes back behind the counter.
24 on investigation.
Or
Myself find anything?
what section are you looking in?
Probably the stuff about the different planes.
In the novice section. Nice voice crack me.
Well, the novice, intermediate,
and expert.
We've got intermediate since I rolled high.
You are poking around the intermediary section, and you do in fact find a rather interesting book, which is the origins / basis for how the 9 circles of hell function. And what they are intended to represent.
Okay.
However, a lot of this book is in a language that you do not have the capacity to read. It is written in Infernal. As far as I'm aware, you are incapable of speaking Infernal.
I don't think any of us speak Infernal.
Mr. Librarian, sir.
The sign comes over to you. Yes, can I help you?
I cannot read this. Is there anything that can translate it for me?
And he opens the book, takes one look at it, and goes, "Oh, you can't speak Infernal."
No.
Well, I could spend a little while translating it for you. I'm capable of reading it.
I would appreciate that.
Of course.
Is there any books in particular about how to get into the hells?
And the moment you say that, he looks at you and raises an eyebrow. Now, what would a young gentleman like yourself want to be doing in the hells?
A rescue mission?
A rescue mission.
Mm-hmm. Someone very important to us is trapped in the hells. We need to get to them.
I see. So you don't have a death wish?
No.
Do you know where they are in the hells?
No.
And he looks at you with a very heavy amount of concern in his expression. I see. Are you familiar with the hells in any capacity?
No, that is why we are here. We are trying to learn about the hells.
Well, I'll let you read that. I will, see if I have a... Name ponders for a moment. What is your, preferred language? Are you more... Is it Parisian? Pardon the assumption. Common...
I can speak Common, Sylvan, and Venetian.
He ponders.
So Common will be fine.
Okay, I will see if we have this in common. Just bear with me a moment. No pun intended. And he smiles as he walks away. And...
Marcel does not have an ounce of salt in his body.
And...
Could you read it to me, please?
And you notice that the bearman calls for somebody up the stairs, and a pink-haired woman in a flowing midnight blue gown, with what appears to be a sort of red cardigan over her shoulders, starts having a conversation with him, and the two of them are chit-chatting for a little while. and she takes the book from him and goes up the stairs.
There's this big wizard guy.
Hmm?
This big bear wizard guy.
Mm-hmm.
Is there a big aura coming off him?
And there's nothing
What's
that you
the
can
go off?
inherently sense. He seems very simplistic, but you can't tell whether that's because he doesn't have that much strength to him, or if he is much more competent at suppressing his magical aura than the guildmaster that you met.
I don't believe he ever told anything about suppressing aura, so Marcel wouldn't know about it.
No.
So he just assumed he's not very strong.
You do notice that there is a very interesting looking tome strapped to the man's belt that looks heavily intricate.
Must be his diary. It's weird to keep it on, like, attached to you, though.
Roll an Arcana check.
That would be a 9. Okay, so that's 15.
You notice a very intense aura coming off of the tome he has strapped to his waist. It is intense enough that it almost dwarfs that which you dealt with when in the presence of the Sleeping Wolves Guildmaster.
Is it in any way familiar?
It has some sort of familiarity to you, in the sense of it feels like a much, much more powerful version of some of the magic that you are familiar with, but not quite the same. There is a varying level of difference.
Okay. Marcel will sit there and patiently wait.
Okay. And so after a little while, the Ursine man comes back after the pink-haired woman hands over a copy of the book that you requested. He comes back to you. Okay, I have the book for you.
Thank you.
Conveniently, we happen to have it in common. I thought that book had been rented, we'll say, or taken out of the library. So I guess you're one lucky guy.
Thank you very much.
It's perfectly fine. I think your companions have just gone through into that room over there.
Okay.
It's like it points around the corner, as you can see the tail of Mocha disappearing into the doorway. You can see what looks like the silhouette of Oscoria's wings behind the frosted glass.
Oh, before I go, what is that on your back? It's a book.
Oh, nothing particularly special.
It's a very strong magical order.
Is it?
Uh-huh.
How strange.
Maybe you should get it appraised or something. Maybe it is important and powerful.
Roll an insight check. Oh boy. I already know what that sound is. That's a natural one, isn't it? Fucking great noise.
So for a total of 4.
I want to replicate that noise to mock you, but I can't. Fucking. So, it very much seems to you like if this bear man does have an understanding of the magical power of the tome that he has attached to him, he clearly has zero intent of elaborating past the point where he has already. You very clearly will not get any more information out of it.
That is fair. It is very pretty.
Yes.
Anyway, nice to meet you. Bye-bye. Scurries up to the room and the rest of them.
And so the 5 of you plus Mason are sitting in this room. It is like a big lecture hall of sorts. It seems a lot larger than it has any right to be, given that it looks the building itself looks much smaller on the outside than it is on the inside. And you are reading through these books. And in the book that Scoria has, you flick through to the book on the Hells. And the first topic that you end up reading about is the Blood War. The never-ending war between devils and demons for superiority and control over the 9 circles. However, with their seemingly infinite numbers, it is a war that will never truly end. And it elaborates on, talks about it for ages. And then it starts talking about the Hells themselves being viewed as a sort of impenetrable fortress if you don't have the favor of somebody of either a devilish or demonic persuasion to allow you entry, or a very powerful plane walker. So a spellcaster that is capable of casting plane shift.
Oh.
It seems like a lot of the alternative methods are less than consistent. One of the it mentions as like, you know, in like when you're reading like history books for like GCSE or like A level, you got like these big fucking books and it's got like fun fact things on it. It tells you about an individual that attempted to try and get into the Hells by essentially having themselves assassinated, and somehow that worked. And they defied the statistical impossibility and managed to get into the Hells, being assassinated. And it's it's something that makes you question the validity of the information in this book, but it just seems so out of place. And then he gives kind of rudimentary synopsis of everything else, but you notice one important detail is that the ruling demon of the Hells, at least the first circle, it is a 50-50 split on the territory. There is a powerful devil whose name is not known, and a powerful demon who refers to themselves as Lord Malatos.
Wow.
And it mentions about them being a mighty and powerful demon lord.
Gloria just face palms and just drags the hand down her face after reading this. Oof.
Yeah, why do you look like you sucked on a lemon?
You'll remember that Malatos. That
Yeah.
apparently he is one of the, well, out of the 2 vying for power over the first ring, he is Lord Malthus, one of the demon lord that is in charge of that first ring of hell. The devil that also is there does not have a name, or at least no one knows what the name is.
So basically you guys had a big important demon decide to come along and take your souls. That sounds a bit spooky.
And
he pretends to be a ghost and goes, "Woo,
But Mason, no.
I've come to take your souls. Woo."
Well,
No. My soul is my own. Don't take it.
So he could have actually helped us find Matron.
Maybe. I mean, it depends. They said that your matron was like contracted away or something, or given to one of the lords of hell. What's to say that he's not the one who's got her? I mean, we don't know. It's an educated guess. I ain't exactly got big brains for this, but
I mean, it would make sense if he's suddenly taking interest in us.
lad, and yeah, I can't really think of any other reason why. Maybe he is this mystery mug hug. And he has
Oh,
a
no.
big shit-eating grin on his face. Like the biggest, widest possible smile he could possibly conjure. What do you think,
Oof.
Mocha?
I have no thoughts. Literally zero.
Mark
I am
We
not
know.
thinking at this moment in time.
Do you?
Huh?
Anyway.
No, not at all.
Anything else in there of importance, Scoria? Or is that
Well,
kind of it?
aside from the Naruto stuff, it says that to get into the hells, it is very tricky. You need permission or from a higher power devil or demon or an experienced, highly powerful planecaster to get you into the hells. Those are the most common ways. Well, probably arguably the safest if you want to go that route. There was another route, but I don't think anyone wants to get assassinated to try for what I'm going to assume was a very low chance to get into the hells.
I can't imagine that exactly in, you know. Be funny,
No,
maybe.
should see. What about you, Marcel? Have you gotten anything out of your book?
Have I?
So,
Tried my book yet.
no. So, what you've managed to scrounge from your book is that the nine circles of hell have a very interesting arrangement. In that the first circle is where the blood war's taking place. The constant battle between the devilish and the demonic for power. With the second to eighth circles being associated with the seven deadly sins. Each one having a specific place for those sins. The circle of lust, the circle of gluttony, the circle of pride, the circle of sloth, the circle of wrath, the circle of greed, and the circle of envy. With the ninth circle at the very bottom of the list being home to the king and overruling figure of the nine circles. A great infernal lord known as Chaos the Archfiend. This is where I've actually incorrectly quoted his name.
What the fuck?
I actually have to get his proper fucking name out because I didn't put it on my compendium. I didn't do the thing I should have done. Oh well. Smiley face. Let me find his actual full fucking title. Wiggles eyebrows.
First circle, Blood War, 2 to 8, 7 deadly sins, 9, home to the king of the nine circles.
Bingo. There it is.
Which I would assume would be the other figure.
Yes. So it is Chaos. Chaos, the mighty Archfiend. So yeah, it doesn't exactly help you figure out what circle your matron is on, but you're aware that this place could be a little bit more than you're ready to chew on.
So there is 9 circles of hell. The first one has the blood war going on in it. The second to the 8th is dedicated each to one of the 7 deadly sins, and the 9th is home to the king of the 9 circles. A block called Chaos the Mighty Archfiend. Ego much.
So basically, we shouldn't go to Circle 9.
But that explains who the person that is in contact
But
with
we also do
Malatos
not
is.
know.
Probably
We
this
also
way.
do not know which circles the matron is on. So before I wonder if there's any.
I have a hunch it is the 9th.
Please do not say that.
I mean,
If it is, we are woefully underprepared. Underprepared.
I mean, if they've taken her there, wouldn't it make sense that her soul or her being would end up in one of the sins? I mean, they're not gonna put her in the middle of the blood war, and I don't really see why she'd be so important they'd send her to the king of the 9 circles. At least that's what makes sense to me. You got any
one of these
idea?
circles, this is Malatos person.
Well, Scoria did tell you.
Yeah, no, I was not listening.
Oh.
Was crossed there.
Murdos is a demon lord of the first. I think it was the first ring, right?
Yes.
Mhm.
Was the first ring.
Okay, so if he's got her, then it's probably different. Who wants to fight a blood war? Yeah.
No.
I mean,
Preferably not. But that's well, as that as we need to. I think the out of our business is to get stronger. Obviously, we are. I doubt that we would survive even a second if we even got into the hells. We need a more concrete idea on the location of the matron so that we don't go into one circle, realize she's not there, and then we realize we have to go through the next 8 just trying to locate her.
I mean, it would be kind
Then-
of funny if we arrived in the hills and immediately ate shit, but that'd be more funny in a cartoon or a movie.
I think they'd be laughing at us rather than us laughing because we'd be dead.
Yeah. It was funnier in my head than it was out loud. So, wait a
And
minute.
the last thing is we need a concrete method into getting into the hells.
So, how do we do that? Can't exactly go and ask the guild for help, because, well, can't ask the authorities either, because, technically none of us bar Scoria exist. You're considered
still-
dead, as he points at myself. And the rest of y'all don't really exist, because you don't have any sort of birth certificate or whatever.
Does that mean I could barter my way in? Because I'm technically dead.
How about we don't do that? And you get a very hearty smack on your back that knocks the wind out of you.
Maybe she's been to the house before. What about the book?
Does somebody want to take it off the hug mug and have a look through?
Sure, I'll take it off of Hugmug. May I have the book that you got?
And Hugmug hands you the matron's diary. It seems like the vast majority of what you guys are looking at is kind of going over his head. He's kind of got it, but in classic Hugmug fashion, it's taking a little while for the details to sink in. So
I'm
you're
wondering which circle of hell Mughug inhabits.
yes.
So Scoria's gonna read through, trying to look for any mentions of going to the hells or any of the 9 circles.
Or Malatos. Maybe they
Or
have
what
three.
Manatos.
There is no mention of Malatos by name. However, Scoria,
Stick.
Scoria, can you make me a religion check?
Religion check.
And I'm going to
where's
give you
my
advantage on
religion?
this because this is
So
because you worship the Night Mother, you would have a bonus to this. This is something that you would have knowledge of.
Okay, let's see. I rolled 2 fucking 6s. Are you kidding me?
Oh my god!
Wait, roll another one. Get 666.
Shut the fuck up.
6,
No.
6, Mog it 3. Anyway, so that's 9.
69.
It's a 9 total.
Right.
Bastard.
Mm.
Yeah, so it's a 9 total.
9 total, and I will use that second roll as I was going to get you to make a second religion check after that, so.
Oh.
There we go. I'll take you.
The second religion check that wasn't part of the one that I rolled with advantage was a 23 total with an at 20 because bullshit. That's why.
Because fuck you. That's why. Okay. So you're aware that a fair few of these symbols, or refer like both checks succeeded. The first check with advantage was actually on the DC.
Jesus Christ.
It was a DC 9 check. You are aware that writing the name or using a direct imitation of a symbol of a devil or demon lord can give them a pathway to summon themselves into that location. To say, for example, if the Lord of Blood were to have his axe symbolized onto a scroll, he could potentially try and force himself open a portal next to the scroll. Just as an example.
Is that if it's at a trap?
Yes and no. However, your second roll, one of the things that you're aware that the Night Mother is hilariously against is the Blood War as a whole, and the presence of devils and demons outside of the hells or their appropriate planes. And that is down to the fact that it messes with the cycle of souls, as the creation of soul stones and soul coins and other soul-related objects such as weapons and other household accessories, as I shall refer to them, all disrupt the soul cycle that causes a great imbalance between Anima and Alexander. And you recall immediately that there is an alternative to how you refer to a devil or a demon, is that you write their name backwards. And so you start looking for the name but backwards. And funnily enough, you find it on the 5th page of the midlife, what I'm going to refer to as the midlife section.
You went crazy.
Like, it's shut.
Not to mention the red sports cars and things.
Oh, totally. It's like a red card. Boom. Stop. No. So, basically, the general summary is that the matron has in fact before seen Lord Malatos and has been to the Hells and was told by a certain entity that she would be sent into one of these hells. Got to remember the language name. Are you able to read Numish? I presume not.
No. No.
Okay, well, it continues in common up until it describes what circle of hell she was told she would end up in if she was ever taken to the hells upon death. But the actual name of the circle is written in Numish. You can attempt to make a linguistics check using
I will attempt.
Using the languages you know. You are aware that Numish does have a couple of language rules that line up with Primordial and oh my god, I can't even write it today. An Aryan.
What? Well, how convenient.
Does anybody have a spell that lets you understand languages?
Let me check Hugmug's spell list. I know Mason is incapable of.
If not, I can scribble it down on a piece of paper and ask our bed friend to. Translate for us.
Yeah, Hugmug does not have any spells that would work here.
I mean, Scoria knows both Aerolin and Primordial.
That's why I'm letting you make a linguistics check.
Yeah.
What did you
Oh,
roll?
nice. 13.
Ooh, nice. You're only able to decipher one letter,
Fuck.
and it's L.
Wow, brother! This guy stinks!
Wow, Scurry, talk about taking the L.
And the problem is that you're not sure where the letter would land, because of how Numish words are written, they're not quite the same. It's like you're basically trying to pick apart an acronym, but it's not you don't know where the L lands in the acronym.
What was the context for it again?
Which circle of hell Helga's soul would end up in if she was ever dragged into the hells.
Gluttony.
Scoria will take the diary, walk out the room to go talk to the librarian.
Okay, so you go out of the library and you approach the bearman, who is standing at the counter, once again faffing about with some books that are set up.
Oh, hello, sorry for the inconvenience.
Hello again.
You wouldn't happen to know Numish, would you?
Let's have a look. We just take a little look-see and... By my understanding, it seems like this is... It appears that the L is on the, it's L. An L is the second letter. And goodness, it's been a while since I've deciphered. Yes, it appears that the second letter is L, but I can't really make much more out of it than that. At least at a first glance. I could try and decipher it for you.
What, I mean, that would be great. I think the context is, this is where, the person that we are looking for, when they were told that they would be dragged into the hills, this is where their soul would end up.
Well, if you're comfortable leaving such a personal item with me, I can have a look through. I can try and decipher it for you. I could actually. Edie, darling, can you come and have a look at this, please? And the pink-haired woman comes back down the stairs. She takes a look at it, reads over it, and there is a back and forth conversation between the two in Ursian. Before she rolls her eyes, goes back upstairs, and the bear man turns back around to you. Yes, so I can't really decipher much more outside of that. It seems like somebody has put some sort of magic over the top of this. So it may take me about a day or so to crack it.
Okay. In that case, do you need any payment for this service?
Well, I wouldn't take funding for this. No. It seems like yourself and your companions are a little road weary, dare I say. Not to be impolite. And he has a very soft, warm, almost fatherly smile on his face. I would never take funding from somebody who is very clearly in need of a little bit of R&R. Why don't you spend the money that you would have given me on a little bit of a spa day for yourself? A little bit of de-stressing never hurts. And he smiles.
Oh, thank you. In that case, I shall leave this in your care.
And he takes the tome from you. And what he does is you watch him scribble some bits and pieces down, and he hands it to you. would you mind just signing the bottom of this? It's a
Of course.
contract to basically say that I have taken this item from you, and it is to be returned to you in the exact same state that it was delivered. Essentially, just to make sure that if I fuck something up, you and your companions are more than welcome to take legal action against me. I do believe that there is a absolutely brilliant lawyer who is coming to visit from Carcinari in a few days' time. It's a man named Franz. Might be a good call if I do fuck something up. Not that I intend to, but to give you the best foot forward. And he gives you a business card for the man, just in case.
Thank you. Scoria signs the paper.
And after that, he wraps up the contract scroll in a nice pink ribbon and puts it in a slot on the wall. But you notice there are a fair few other contracts listed about the place. It definitely seems like there's a lot of book restoration happens on the upper floors of the tower that you're not allowed into, which is understandable considering that there are probably a great many powerful tomes containing various magic spells that would ideally need to be contained within one space. And so you return to your companions.
How does it go?
They couldn't decipher much other than that the second letter is, in fact, where the L goes. So
Second letter is where the L goes, so that narrows it down to 2.
We have learned that the names of the rings, right?
Yeah, I would assume
Okay, so-
that it's something that you know, just
Okay.
inherently speaking, because
General knowledge.
not so much just general knowledge.
We wouldn't have to.
I imagine that Florian and Marcel were the kinds of kids that would not stop asking why until they got to the point of being given the "because I said so" line.
We've also definitely had angels and demons and stuff involved in our
Fairy tales for bedtime.
yeah.
Yeah.
No, involved in our make believe stuff.
Possibly,
When
yeah.
we're playing, like right at the start, where Marcel was sieging the castle.
I can't imagine that she would educate you on what the deadly sin of lust is, because
What?
that was definitely on none of your minds at that point.
But we would know what gluttony is.
You would know what gluttony, pride, sloth, wrath, greed, envy, and to a much lesser extent lust would be. You would know
So
what they are.
unless there is another one with the second letter is L, it is probably sloth or gluttony.
Yes. There is apparently some kind of magic protection over the passage, preventing further investigation. So the librarian has taken it into his hands to try and decipher it further, send a contract saying that if he damages it in any way, when it is returned, we can pursue legal action.
So
I
guess
was also
we bet.
given this lawyer's card.
Well, I mean, at least he's pretty confident that he's not going to screw it up. That's something, at least.
I'm thinking, does that lawyer person,
Yeah.
do you think that we would be able to ask them more about how my birth certificate is still there and everything? Consider, but right. When the matron found me, I was a literal babe wrapped up in a basket floating down the river. If I was any parent, I would assume that if my child went down the river, that they were dead, no?
Well, I mean, maybe there's some special circumstances that aren't normal here. I mean, it would make sense that Marcel would be considered dead. But I mean, from what we're aware, Florian and Hugmonk's parents are still alive, but they don't have a certificate. Seems like someone's a little off, but
I guess I just do not understand that. Maybe is where I can obtain some information about it from this lawyer person.
maybe. I mean, might sound a bit stupid. We could always ask Xavier about that sort of thing. He seems a little bit more. It looks like Mason has like a light bulb moment. Wait, if he was assassinating people, but he's not really much of a fighter like me or you guys, then maybe he knew about espionage, so he might know why, or at least how that works.
Espionage?
Well, yeah. I mean, the guy can swing an axe, but don't exactly seem the most efficient with it. Not like Scoria with her lance or Mocha with her battle spork.
I believe he fights with his illusions.
Exactly. Which means he'd have to have the brains to go with the charisma. Or am I just being real stupid, or?
No, that sounds reasonable.
Yeah.
Well done.
Took one up for the big bull. Boo, bitches. He looks very pleased with himself. Okay, right. So, wait. Where is Xavier?
He went off to have maybe chat with an arcanist.
Huh. Well, I'm sure it's fine. Can all of you roll a scent-based perception check? Florian, can you roll?
Is it related?
Florian, your sensitive nose ability will come into action here.
Oh, why do I think
Yeah,
I
I get
can
prompted.
go,
The
I don't
second
think I'm
half of
smelling
it.
nothing.
Sniff, sniff, sniff.
Make sure you read the full capacity of your sensitive nose ability. It is the second half of it that I'm referring to.
Oh, okay. The bad smell thing.
Yes.
Where is it? Sensitive nose. But shit. Oh, I have disadvantage.
Yes. So because it is whatever the smell is, because it is a negative smell, you have a disadvantage on perceiving what it is because it is overwhelming your little nose.
What do my poor little nose smell? 14.
14. Okay. Marcel, you didn't roll yet, have you?
I have rolled.
You have rolled.
Yes.
Okay. What'd you roll?
Just perception. So.
Yes.
My brain is not braining.
Please brain. You need a
15.
15. Okay.
9.
Despite being a rat, you also do not have advantage on subject.
Well, so many abilities I give up Amicia. They're more human leaning than rat leaning. Brain cells, please. Come on. Okay.
21.
Nice. Meme number. And Coria.
5.
5. Oh boy.
Yeah.
Okay, so Scoria, you completely miss out on the smell.
Yeah.
The rest of
That's
you.
what the shit, bro.
The rest of you. You catch a whiff of something acrid.
Familiar?
Slightly eggy as well.
No.
But very acrid.
Is it familiar?
The one having a hard-boiled egg.
Do you want to roll a history check?
Because
Me?
Yep.
something about you guys, that sounds
Don't I have a thing for that? Oh, I double my bonuses when making history checks related to food.
It is not food related.
Okay, it's just a history check then.
16.
16. Florian, are you going to be
Ditto
rolling
that,
history as well?
16.
History 16s.
Sorry, I was making notes. What are we rolling now?
That's all right. Do you want to roll a history check to see if you can recall where you smelt that before?
Okie dokie. History 17.
17. Okay. So, Mocha, you recall this scent from the morning after waking up in the tent when your companions told you about a mystery demon lord appearing inside your tent.
Oh.
Marcel and Florian, you recognize this as the scent of sulfur. And the scent is just behind the door. And you feel
Marcel
a
would
pair
draw
of...
his weapon.
Hmm?
Marcel will draw his weapon, ready to fight.
And you notice that there is a small grey-skinned entity staring you down. It has taut grey skin. And it's just looking at you with a weird level of curiosity. And then it realizes you're looking at it, and you hear its feet scampering
Away or towards?
away
Okay.
at high speeds. As you catch its forked tail whipping behind it as it flees.
We are being spied upon. Everyone's head on a swivel.
Can it's only Scoria that knows Primordial, isn't it?
Yeah.
Hearing-based perception check.
Nice. This can't possibly go horribly wrong.
I will give you advantage because you have
Oh,
the
no.
language.
Okay. That's a 17.
Thank God I didn't say disadvantage, eh?
Yeah.
So you hear the voice of this grey-skinned entity.
Yes. If he's not with the thing, I can go and harbor problems.
And then you realize what it's referring to. You are down a member. Somebody is not here. And it seems like
It's
they are
up to
this
Xavier.
thing's target.
Is that for Xavier? It's up for Xavier.
Well, that's awkward. Do we do something about that, or
I say we kill it.
smash its bones?
Smash it to pieces.
It's a bonk time. And I'm presuming, please correct me if I'm wrong, that you guys are gonna give chase.
I think so.
As Marcel throws his dice on the floor. So you chase after it. And it's almost as though every time you go around the corner, it manages to elude you. As though it's able to sense where you are. However, something odd happens. Hugmug falls on his face.
Oh.
And ends up taking out Florian and Marcel.
Oh.
Fall down.
Oh my god, Huggy, what the fuck?
And as you can, like, your momentum keeps you moving, Mocha and Scoria. And you realize that it stops fleeing the moment that those three fall over. Quickly accompanied by Mason, who rounds the corner a bit too fast and eats shit immediately and falls on top of this pile. And you come to a strange position where whatever this grey-skinned impish figure is, whatever it is staring at the four on the floor. And from where your movements have caused you to skid across the ground. It has not moved. Would you like to roll an insight check?
Sure.
Okay.
Both of you can
This
do
can't
this.
go horribly wrong. Hey, it
Inside.
didn't go horribly wrong. It's an 18.
Insight. 10! So good, guys. So good.
18.
Okay. Your insight check results in you both succeed. You realize that whatever is occurring here has something to do with a trait that the four that are currently collapsed on the ground share.
Men.
Men? Men? We're talking about men?
Oh.
Yes, please.
No, it's not. It's not the
Sorry.
Foundlings, though.
It's not. Oh,
No,
Damn it! My first thought went orphan, but that can't be it.
no,
Right?
because Mason has a mum still.
Exactly! So my next thought was men.
men! She's becoming one of us, guys.
I mean, that is what we all have in common.
Spellcasters? No.
Men.
It's not
Is there a
spellcasters.
single person in this place that doesn't like men?
Would you
There's
like
not,
to,
is there?
hug mug?
Florian likes women.
Yeah, but Florian is technically considered bisexual, male leaning, or female leaning. Sorry, correction. The only
I mean,
purely,
technically, Mocha doesn't have a sexuality.
the only purely heterosexual member of your team is Hugmug. Surprisingly,
Wow, that is shocking.
I mean, yeah, a little bit. Anyway, would you like to roll another insight check to try
What
and
the
figure out what they all share in terms of traits?
Sure.
12.
As whatever
17.
12 and 17. Okay. You realize that
We can
they
do the
all-
Scoria.
You notice that the trait that those four share is in how their view of morality aligns, in that they try to do the
chaotic.
general good.
Oh.
If I were to put this in alignment terms for you, all four of those on the floor right now are good aligned. Be
Uh-oh.
it chaotic good, neutral good. They are all good
Aren't you
aligned.
also good, Mocha?
She
I
is
am a good
not.
girl, yeah.
She is lawful neutral.
Oh.
You're not lawful good? What the fuck?
You are neutral, and Mocha is lawful neutral.
I'm just a cute little cat girl, you know? Meow
And that's when
meow.
you notice that this thing's
conscious.
eyes.
We're still conscious.
Oh yeah, you're just currently writhing and struggling under the sheer weight of Mason that's just landed on top of the three of you. So Mason's trying to put his hand down to like get up, but I'm picturing you and Florian are trying to writhe free, so he's trying not to crush your skull against the ground. But you then notice another thing about this little devil, demon, whatever it is. Its eyes are greyed in colour, and they seem to almost reflect the light. You come to the conclusion that whatever this demonic, devilish, just use the term infernal as a broad term, whatever this infernal entity is, it's blind.
Oh, so is it? I don't know. I don't know if that what the spell like detect good and evil.
Bingo. It appears that its eyes have the inherent trait of detect good, meaning that it is only able to see things that are of good alignment, or things that have having magical capacity. Whilst it is in its, you notice whatever's summoned it to this plane has not had a very successful summoning, as it normally would be able to see and have like normal vision like a human, but whatever has summoned it to this plane has not summoned it successfully, and thus it's had its vision impaired.
In that case, can Scoria leap towards it to grab it?
You
This would be a strength check.
That will be a strength check and a stealth check. It is blind. It is not deaf.
I will roll stealth first. That's an 8. Oh no, that probably failed. Strength, nat 20 for 23 total.
It hears you coming. You manage to grab hold of it. And that's when you spot its tail whip around. And in a slight moment of panic, its tail whips down and punctures your right arm, doing 12 points of piercing damage to you. And as its tail punctures into your flesh, I need you to make me a con save against poison, please.
Non-magical?
Non-magical. It is a naturally occurring poison.
$24.
You succeed. And so you have a grip on this infernal creature, and it is very clearly preparing to strike you with its tail again.
Just out of character for a second.
Mhm.
We're still in the library, aren't we?
You are just outside the library's doors.
Oh, so
I'm picturing as you're running after it, you're leaping for it either in the street or outside the library doors.
the poor librarian just watching us.
Sprint out. I'm picturing by the time you catch up with it, because it's running for its fucking existence, because it's been spotted, it is then running for its life, and you're like in a street adjacent to this library.
Am I able to get off the floor yet?
Yes.
Okay.
You and the others managed to get off the ground, and that is when the infernal creature starts screeching at Scoria.
Can Marcel rush forward and shove his hat cover its mouth?
You may do so. So as you sprint forward, you shove your hand into its mouth.
I want to shove part of my cloak in its mouth.
Part of your cloak into its mouth.
I was gonna bite my hand. Put my hand in there.
So you put part of your cloak in its mouth, and it starts struggling in Scoria's grip. You make another contest of strength, please.
With advantage? With advantage, because Marcel will try and hold it as well.
You would need to make a separate check.
Okay. Not the strongest. We have 13.
So it wriggles free from Scoria's grip. But Marcel, you manage to grab it by its ankles as it begins to attempt to take flight. And you feel your feet starting to leave the ground as it flaps its wings.
Mason, grab my ankles!
Yep, on it. And he grabs you by the ankles, and as it starts flying up, and you are being held firm.
Oh, can I? It's gonna be. Is it a verbal component? How do I cast spells normally?
It will be a combination of verbal and somatic components.
Okay, I was gonna say, can I cast stone at it? Try and inflict it with weighted.
You can, but you'd have to let go of it.
Right. I'll hold on to it.
Can I cast stone?
You may.
Please do not roll an at one, because I'm pretty good at it.
That would be fucking hilarious.
Let's
Bet nat
see,
one.
let's see, let's
Marcel
see.
gets
Hit
stone.
bonus is +5.
Context.
So it's 8 total.
You cast stone, and the infernal creature stops flapping, and so dodging out of the way of your attack before it begins to start pumping its wings at full speed.
I've got to say, its reaction to it stop flapping, I try and slam it on the ground. As soon as it stops flapping, it's going to stop pulling.
And you may do so.
What would that be? Athletics?
It will be athletics.
Fuck.
That's a 16.
You succeed. You manage to slam this creature into the ground, where it lets out a deafening cry.
Shit, what now?
Can all of you please make me a wisdom save against sleep?
Oh.
All of you.
No. Wisdom. My man. Wisdom.
The only one who does not need to make this check is Marcel. Because this thing is only capable of targeting 5 things, and there are 6 of you. And by the elimination of the dice, it has decided that the third person on my list is not getting targeted, which just so happens to be you.
19.
18.
8. Good night, guys.
Oh, okay, bye,
Good
my friend.
night.
Honk me.
Snore.
You all fail
Yeah, I saw that
What?
one coming.
as you are knocked into a magical slumber.
Can I attempt to cover its mouth again? With a sword? I'm going to stab it in the throat.
You attempt to do so before realizing that you are currently being smothered in bull, as Mason failed the check as well.
Oh, fuck.
And he was
Oh,
holding onto you.
Mason.
So he is holding your ankles and has fallen atop thee.
Oh.
Oh, shit.
And so you watch the grey-skinned creature fly away into the air. You are free to wake people up if you choose to.
I will attempt to wake people up.
Okay. It doesn't take that much effort. You end up shaking them all awake, and Mason looks very confused as to why you are struggling underneath him when you wake him, as he will be the first you have to wake to, fucking move.
Please, Mr. Big Ball Man.
Meh.
Cannot breathe.
Oh, sorry. Well, fucking, I was holding on to you, you were holding on to the thing, and then, wait, where the
And then
fuck
I
did it go?
slammed it in the floor and then set you all to sleep.
Oh, well, that's
And then you landed on me.
sorry.
It is okay.
And you notice,
Oh, my back.
he kind of shrinks down a little bit.
It's okay. You did not mean to.
No, it's just virus.
So what the fuck was that?
Oh.
Scoria? Any ideas?
Oh.
Was it shared that it can't see?
Hmm?
Was it shared that it cannot see certain
Oh,
elements?
no.
They would not have had the chance.
No, okay.
It is partially blind, only able to see that which is good in nature.
And if we thought it was going after Xavier, that means it probably cannot see him.
Assuming that
He's
it only
in
sees good.
transition, but I do not think he has a good nature yet.
That is assuming it can only see good. We do not know if it cannot see evil, or if it has a method on being able to see. I mean, it's not deaf.
Well, I do not know where he went, so. He's pretty sneaky when he wants to be, so he should be okay. Oh,
And whilst you guys are figuring out what the hell to do next, I will be right back. I just need to dip to the bar. So figure out your plan of action, and then we will continue in like 2 minutes, if that.
I think we should go look for Xavier.
you should definitely go look for Xavier.
You said that he was looking for an alchemist, right?
No, Carnist, yes. Maybe it's our librarian friend will know who that might be.
Possibly. The squirrel looks down at the fucking
Are you okay?
puncture wound on it.
Marcel's going to cast Cure.
I am.
Come here. That's what it. That would be 18 health back.
I am alright. Also, I wouldn't recommend getting hit by it at all. I was able to kind of what felt like some poison or something.
No, it really got you good. Can you still move your arm?
Yes, I can still move my arm
Oh,
to right away instead.
Marcel has cast a cure on Scoria.
Okay. I have returned. So, what you're doing from here?
We are going
Looking
to
for
the
Xavier.
librarian to ask about this arcanist that Xavier would have been looking for.
Okay.
Should have said that in Marcel voice. Whoops.
No, that's fine. I mean, as in DM. I was asking you as DM. You mocking me, sir?
No, I'm also not well yet.
Pulling the legs. Pulling the. So.
I am also exhausted and unhealthy.
Anyway.
We are exhausted.
How you know I'm not well is that I can impersonate Withers. It's great. Anyway, so you go off to go and try and find Xavier. And you do find him. With a surprising degree of ease. Walking out of what appears to be some sort of black and white veiled tent that's clearly inspired by the schools of black and white magic. And he looks a little confused to see the rather exasperated state of your
Oh, thank God you're okay.
What do you mean? Does something happen?
There was a little grey, demony, impish thing. We were
Oh.
chasing after it, and it seemed like it was coming after you.
Well, that would be very inconvenient for it.
And Marcel's gonna be like swiveling his head around, trying to see if he can spot this thing anywhere nearby.
I'm sure it is fine. I mean, what's the worst thing that could happen?
You put a hole in Scoria's arm.
I did not think that Scoria. Oh, no, wait, in arm. Are you okay?
Yes, I am fine now.
Okay. No fatalities. That is good. So, so I went to go and speak to this arcanist, and I've certainly got somewhere. Kind of. How do I explain this? So, I may have been able to possibly secure us a way into the hills.
What?
Oh,
There is just one downside.
oh no.
We are going to be a little bit dependent on a individual that I have made the acquaintance of.
Okay.
I shall have to introduce you.
Marcel's still looking around for this creature.
And you don't see any signs of it. You do, however, that you end up getting taken into this tent. So this is the individual that I was talking to. Or at least the person that is supposed to be incapable of helping us. Something about doing a good deed for the town by keeping an eye out for things. And sitting on a chair in this room is a purple-skinned tiefling man with flowing black hair in what appears to be a dark blue outfit.
Hello.
Well, hi. How are you doing? Can I help?
Trying to get into hells.
Ah, the last place I want to be. You know, I hear that the plain of Clacton is great this time of year. But you were asking about the hells, so
Out of character, I completely fucking forget there's a plane of Clacton.
yeah. There is an
Wait,
actual
Where all of the worst things in the universe.
Are you actually
There is a-
saying Clacton, or am I being
Yes.
deaf
No,
as
yeah,
I'm
shit?
saying
Yeah.
Clacton. It is named
Oh my
because
God.
no, I will sit here and explain
The
this to
evil
defend
place
myself.
known as Clacton.
Please,
It is because
please.
the place is made up of stormy ravines and oceans that collide together with these big fucking ravines separating them, and the human explorers that founded the plane to get there, or founded the method of getting there, basically dropped a rock down there and went, well, this rock clacked a ton, so Clacton sorted. It is in no
Right.
way related or affiliated to the British town of Clacton.
It's okay, because I was scared the next one you were going to see is the plane of Jaywick, in which
Fine.
case I might have to leave.
No. Anyway,
We don't go to the plane of Jaywick.
We don't go to the plane of Jaywick.
Nobody talks about that. Anyway, no, the rather tall purple-skinned gentleman stands and does a little stretch. Well, simply put, I can get you there. I shouldn't, but I will definitely say though that if I'm helping you in there, I am certainly not putting my own neck on the line should you fuck around and find out.
Understandable.
Nobody cares about that, man. Just do you have your way in? Well, yes, we've been talking about it for the last 20 minutes. In the meantime, if you have nothing else to talk about that's immediately pressing, I'd like to go and have a chit chat with my husband, my man, my fine ass. So, are we done here? I'm just showing you the people that you're going to be helping me get into the hills. Yeah, that's cool. Anyway, man.
Wait, would you know what? Would you know what this thing is? And he describes the thing that we literally just. Because I don't know. I literally forget how it was described.
It's a great,
Not
it's a great skinned
Imp
infant
fucker.
creature.
Yes.
Um,
Fuck.
he looks at you,
Fucker of the plane of Clacton.
ponders for a moment. Oh, you mean an Alberich?
Yes. We literally just
Freaking
chased one through
little
the
shit.
street because it was tracking us.
Oh. Well, that sucks to be you. Oh, you want help dealing with it. Right. Well, you give me a little bit of gold. I'm definitely partial to gold. Or I guess if it's about to kill one of you, it would be a little bit awkward to have that on my conscience, so I suppose I could just deal with it. That, or how I told you I'm a little bit partial to gold. I can resolve the problem. Like a snap.
Be interrogated to find out why it is here.
And he does almost a snort laugh. No.
Okay.
Have you ever tried negotiating with the devil or a demon? It's kind of
Not really. We didn't really
kind
of
negotiate.
bad.
Sorry, just shut it down.
Forcefully told it to let us leave.
Well, how does one
Fucking
put
demon lord.
this? Oh, demon lords. Oh, you must be popular. Anyway,
Yes, Demon Lord Malatos.
Oh, that bitch. Oh, I know him. Unfortunately. You see, that twat decided it'd be a brilliant idea to send a motherfucking doppelganger of me to try and take my place. Sucks to be it, though. I put it in a temporal stasis, and then it got absolutely fucking murdered. Not by me, I don't think.
Ooh.
It's been long enough now, I can't be asked to remember details. Anyway, yeah. Why? What have you fucking done?
We lost our matron. She was kidnapped, and now we're pretty sure she is in the hells. And we're trying to get her back. And we know that it's probably one of two places. Probably either sloth or gluttony. And I don't know why he has interest in us.
So, call it rather insensitive of me, one might say. Little immature. I'm known for being a little bit of a goofy guy. If she's in sloth or gluttony, either she's fat or there's another parent involved. I wouldn't know. Mine are dead, so. And he has a very nonchalant smile on his face the entire time. So. Maybe I shouldn't ask. Aurora's told me enough times that it's a little bit insensitive to ask this sort of thing, but I suppose if you pay me a little bit of gold, which I'm very partial to, and he wiggles his eyebrows a little bit. I might
How much
be...
are we talking?
Well, how much do you have? Not to say I'm expensive, but it's good to know the price range that
Myself,
you
7,000 gold on his back.
I don't know how I got this gold on my. I don't know how I got this skill on my person.
smiles in
Hey, bless
the
itself
guild
a coin,
the
but you
guild
probably
master
shouldn't
gave
give
you.
away.
The guild master gave you a
Oh
bunch of
yeah,
funding.
I
gave it to a sheep.
forgot about that.
But money that the guildmaster totally did not give us. Because it's totally not helping.
He gave you 6,000 gil each. So
I already had 1,000 gil then.
he clicks his knuckles. How much should I charge? Well, since you're having to deal with old silly Mally boy, so quirky, I suppose I could do it for a small price. And he's kind of like muttering to himself, and that's when the Alberich bursts into the tent.
That thing! That thing!
And as a almost knee-jerk reaction, you just hit like it's real knee-jerk reaction. You're like, it's there, fucking kill it, get rid of it.
Get the fuck out of it!
To which the tiefling man just looks at it and goes, ew. You cast a spell and you watch as space and time itself rips open and engulfs this thing and it disappears. Ew.
Whoa.
That was gross. Anyway.
That was cool.
Wait, was that the thing you were trying to deal with?
Yes, it was.
Shit. Well,
Probably
I
shouldn't
can
have
help you a
screamed,
couple
kill
of
it,
ways.
kill it.
Well, I mean, I've had many people point at things and go kill it. Doesn't mean I necessarily listen. But well, that's unfortunate. Well, anyway. I will probably forget who you are, as he points at Xavier. But I hope you have a great day. And he leaves without another word. Just exits stage left, exits the tent, and leaves a lot of you just standing there looking a little bit baffled.
Well, that was fucking weird.
I don't think you were that forgettable.
What?
What? Anyway.
So he could potentially get us in that door. Although he does seem a little bit eager on getting a little bit of compensation for getting us through. So, how was your
Very.
I guess we raised some money?
that, or did you guys have any luck?
Well, the light. What the hell the fuck do I speak?
How do you
We will find out in a day or so if what exact circle, or potentially where the matron's soul would have gone if she were to have ended up in the hells, according to her diary. Other
Okay.
than that, we found some basic information about the circus himself and about Lord Balatos.
No, that is a lot more progress than I got. I was talking with that guy for a little while after the Arcanist left.
He was not the Arcanist?
No, God no.
Who was the Arcanist?
I'm sorry, but that man is like a beanpole. I mean, he does have a pretty impressive magic aura coming off of him, but he was not the Arcanist that I was talking to. The Arcanist I was talking to was, he clears his throat and waves his hand to a oh my god, I have to fucking brain cell, please, brain function E.
I am so confused.
The Arcanists sitting behind the table reveals themselves.
Oh, yeah!
It is a tiefling woman, dressed quite modestly, wearing a light pink shawl with light purple hair that is parted by her horns. I was talking to her.
Okay.
Turns
So,
out the woman nods in your general direction, but seems very focused on the tarot cards that she is reading. As there is another person in a female Wolverine getting her fate read. You assume there's a lot of little giggling going on further in the tent.
oh no, not these things again.
No, those are that's just the regular card reading. Nothing to.
Can we see the cards from here?
Yes, you can. They look very different to the cards we're used to,
Nosying on someone else's fate.
basically.
Yeah.
It is noticed, and it seems as though some sort of telekinetic spell is used to close the curtains. So, have you had any luck? Outside of the general little bits of information and the little shit that tried to inconvenience me.
That was after you.
Mm-hmm. What does a bear shit in the woods?
What?
You
They
don't-
live in the woods?
Duh. But the question itself is inherently dumb, because who is going to go up to an actual bear and ask it why it is shitting in the woods? They are more likely to get mauled. Basically, I don't know, and I don't have the intelligence to consider why I would be of interest to such a strange entity. So in the meantime,
Inside?
if you want to roll it, go for it.
What? 21.
He has absolutely no idea.
Okay. Oh! And he unclips the pendant and gives it back.
Ah, thank you. I was wondering how Power would get one.
A what?
And he puts the necklace back around his neck and hides it under his cloak again. Thank you for that. So,
Okay.
what is the, do we have any other plans for the day? Or is it just waiting until the tome is deciphered?
I believe we're just waiting.
Well, perhaps we could go back to the inn and just relax a little bit.
Aren't we supposed to be receiving supplies?
I think so, but won't they be delivered to us?
Yes.
I think.
We should probably be at the inn so we can receive them.
That and I would like to sit down. My legs are hurting a little bit. And so you end up returning back to the inn at Xavier's insistence. And as you're resting and relaxing, there is a knock at the door.
Who is it?
And as it is opened, it's a knock on the door or the room that Florian, Xavier, Mason, and Marcel are in, and it is a relatively lightly dressed human male. I've been looking for you. Got something I'm supposed to deliver.
Oh, brilliant.
And he hands a letter.
Thank you.
It is addressed to Florian. It has a little star on it.
Ooh, for me? Yay! I never get letters.
And as you take the letter, let me have a voice I can be audible. Tabs. So as you take the letter, you notice it is addressed from Sabrina. And
I open it.
There is a little sketch of her fireplace and the star that you made her hanging up on a little ornament. And she is asking how you are and how your mission is progressing.
Okay, I'll if we have time, I'll write a really long, lengthy response to everything we've been through.
Okay. You can do that now if you wish. There is pen and paper in this room.
Excellent, I will do that.
I think it's not just for me, but Florian seems to be cutting out a bit.
It's just you.
Okay.
I hear Florian fine. Might be
My headphones just fucked.
may just be that your headphones need charging.
They have run out of charge.
Well then that's why. World's shortest mystery.
But that's not usually how they stop working when they're out of charge.
Not a clue, sweetheart. Not a clue. So whilst Florian is writing out that letter, I'm picturing in the other room, the ladies and Hugmug are basically picking through the bits and pieces of those books and just trying to find whatever details you can. Does anything of interest happen? Okay. Mental note of that.
Uh-oh.
And
Concerning.
oh boy.
Even more concerning.
During the night,
Oh shit.
as you end up settling in for bed,
No.
the day mostly passes without anything of real note happening. Some supplies get delivered, and so you have like, how many more was it?
Armor, money, I think, and stuff.
You get about 4 days worth of trail rations given to you as a small starting point for the supplies that you're supposed to be given, so I'll add them to Hugmug's inventory as well.
They're still being made.
Yeah, everything else is still being handled. So just add 4 days worth of trail rations. Should have 15 if my math is correct.
That's for everyone.
Yes, it's for everyone.
Are we adding it ourselves or
Which would you
4
rather?
days versus? I'll just add it.
Yeah, should be
15 now.
total.
I have so many rations. Almost half a month.
So, Marcel, you notice Xavier get up in the middle of the night, and he starts to leave the room. If you choose to, you may stop him.
Bathroom is that way.
Oh, I did not realize that you were awake.
Yes, I'm kind of half awake since we now know we're being spied upon.
Oh, well, if it's bothering you, and that's worrying you, I could try and create some sort of illusion around the building.
That would be cool.
Not
What
sure
sort
how
of
it
things can
would,
you do?
Not. It's mainly audio and visual things. Amongst other things.
Anyway, where are you going?
Oh, I was going to go and have a little sit outside.
Yeah?
And I thought it would be nice since a lot of the general location is kind of
Would you like some company?
I mean, you seem pretty comfortable there. It would be a shame to disrupt your comfort.
I asked the question.
And I answered it. You're welcome
No, you
to.
did not. You
You're
did not
welcome
answer.
to come with, but it seems a shame to disrupt your comfort.
I will come with.
Okay. And he picks you up in your bed sheets, bundles you, basically swallows you up and carries you downstairs.
This was not quite what I had in mind, but why not?
Well, I would feel bad if you decided to get rid of all of that comfort just to come and sit outside with me. And so the two of you go outside. Oh, right. I will, you can have mine.
No, it is fine.
Well, no, because you're going to have to wait to get yours cleaned, and
I will be careful.
he ponders. And otherwise, you can cuddle up with me.
I would not be opposed to this.
Whatever is not going to upset the bull. And the two of you sit outside, and he's looking up at the stars. You know, the last couple of days have been pretty interesting.
Yeah, you're telling me.
And
Most
they,
crazy couple of days in my entire life.
well, I've had a little think on general perspective on things.
Yeah?
And basically, I've been back and forth on some ideas. Generally speaking, anyway. And I was thinking that. How does one phrase it? I was pondering the idea of basically, that basically pondering the idea of going to give you a little worship.
Worship?
But like, if I cannot offer,
Worship to who?
well, there are many different gods that I could worship, but there is a particular god that I have taken a personal interest in, you might say.
Okay.
Have you ever heard of the Feywild?
Has Marcel ever heard of the Feywild?
I would presume that you have a vague knowledge of the Feywild.
By
when you-
partial heritage, I suppose.
Yes, by
Yeah.
by partial heritage and by the fact that it was probably part of the birds and the bees talk you had.
Vaguely vaguely familiar.
Well, there are two gods that I was pondering the idea of worshipping. You have Valvern, the king of the Feywild, and then the other one, which was Carbuncle, Lord of the Ruby.
Okay.
They have such funny names. No. And he gets a little red in the face. I do know that Mason has some degree of interest in worshipping Valfern. I think he already worships Ardeon, the goddess of the harvest. But I have my own reasons for wanting to worship one. But I feel like the other one would be more productive. If you understand what I'm saying.
I have no idea what you're talking about.
Well, and he whispers in your ear to explain what Valfern is often revered for. And the other is Carbuncle.
Oh, nice. Scandalous.
That's not that scandalous. It kind of aligns with some of the things that I would fall in line with, and and the other was Carbuncle, because he is known a lot for the what is it? It's the domain of protection. Often.
Ah, that makes sense.
That's why why you see his face plastered on a lot of like different shops to protect things and things like that. Stuff along that line.
Okay. Why is this sudden interest in religion?
But one is the only real way of giving you any sort of protection. And well, I say just you. Collectively speaking, me, you, Mason, the rest of your companions, it is a general protection. Whereas the worshipping Valfern is, I believe it is often referred to as ulterior motives.
I see.
And he smiles, as though what he is saying is completely innocent. And that then, you know. I'm not exactly the best at defending people. I'm better at killing than I am at protecting. But I feel like in this case, the best defense is not going to be an offense.
Damn it, I was just about to say that.
I was pondering the idea of worshipping Alexander, the as what is it the title he goes by, the creator, but he has nothing to do with creation. But I feel like Scoria would probably impale me through the skull with her lance if I even spoke one quote-unquote holy word.
It's the big building one, right?
Kind of.
I do not know a lot about gods.
Well, there are quite a few, so it
We
makes
lived a pretty sheltered existence, yeah?
Hmm?
So we lived a pretty sheltered existence, yeah?
Oh. That is why you're not afraid of me. You're too...
I do not know fear.
I mean, I could show you fear.
But
And he has a rather suggestive smile on his face. Ooh. Perfect. Hey, if you want to make Mason go as red as a strawberry, ask him about what gods he likes or what gods he worships. It'll give you a good laugh, if
Okay.
nothing else.
I keep that in mind.
Oh dear.
You don't suppose this imp thing that we have faced earlier is as a result of you know what?
Oh, that. Probably. But hey, at
The
least
petty revenge.
wouldn't surprise me. But hey, at least I've not got stabbed. That is something.
Although the fact that you've not been stabbed means that there probably will be more.
I hate when other people are right. God damn it.
It means I will have to protect you.
Is that so?
With my hand of flame and sword of sharp. Nothing will touch your hair on your body.
Really now? Oh, that sounds disappointing. I hear that the sensation of touch is how people bond.
That makes sense. I mean, I like to give hugs.
That.
That's nice.
Are you about to fall over there? Did they burrito you a little too well?
What?
And you notice that you slowly started sliding towards him over time.
No. I'm fine.
Do
I
you
do not
need-
know what you're talking about.
Do you want some help there? Or are you fine?
I'm
Going
fine.
To, you're going to end up falling on. Oh, never mind. As the blanket that you are wrapped up in basically creates enough friction when you fall over, and your head ends up resting against his side, just by where his elbow will be resting. It's like mid rib cage. Well, do you want me to put you back up?
No. This is nice.
He puts an arm around you.
And Marcel starts dozing off.
No. So look. Hey, question. He pokes you in the nose. So, what do you think of Florian's little letter that he got sent today?
I know, it's so cute.
Do you think he'll go for it?
I do not know, but she is clearly
Invested,
very invested in him.
like Miss this and you.
Come on, man.
What? It's cute.
I do not know where I am right now.
You're in Nanfar.
I am stuck between two places, and I do not know how to do anything.
See, my favorite answer when I am faced with two options that I cannot decide between is just to say yes. Sometimes you get both. Sometimes you get neither.
I choose to say yes. So date you both.
A bold move.
It'll probably work. Most things I do work eventually.
Is that through trial and error or through sheer stubbornness?
Well, yeah, it's like when you try to climb a tree. First time you skim your leg, second time you break your ankle, but the third time, you manage it.
And almost break your skull in the process? Or do you get stuck like cat?
I don't get stuck. Lawrence got stuck a few times. I forget the cat out of the tree with a ladder.
I thought that cats landed feet first. Does he not land feet first?
No, but he's scared to leave the tree. It's very high up. Imagine you was that short. Everything seems taller, more scary.
I feel
I
like
think
it
I
just-
thought you scary. Imagine how he feels.
I've never thought of that. Anyway, he picks you back up. We should probably get you back into bed.
Okay.
Do you want me to go and get you new blankets, or
No, this is fine. Wait, what state of blankets?
they are a little bit dirty
Eh,
because you've been out on a dirt path?
okay, fine. I should probably get blankets.
Well, my bed is also available, standing offer. And he pops you down, umbrellas you, and goes and climbs back into his bed.
Although by that logic, if I get into your bed, Mason has to get into your bed. Should go wake him up.
And he just looks at you with a general sense of bewilderment, almost baffled by the logic. What are you doing?
He will relent. He will not go wake Mason up.
you left that dice roll concerns me. Okay, so nice one, scrap me.
Oh, he's now trying to jump. He's not very bad about leaving Mason out. They're both interested in him, so he's going to try his best to keep them both happy. By juggling both of them. In his very direct, blunt way that he does things.
I respect it. Okay, so next morning rolls around. It is now the 14th of December, 67 AR. And first thing in the morning, Scoria. You are in the process of waking up when a gentle voice lulls your mind. It is the Night Mother. And you can't quite make out what her voice is, like a melody in your mind. And though you can't quite make out what is said, it gives you a feeling of inspiration. You feel motivated. As you launch yourself out of bed and start basically rounding everybody up.
Fucking hell.
Like, it is a burst of energy through your body, as though all of your tiredness has been dissolved. And so you end up going back to the library after breakfast, where the bear man.
On her own? On her own?
No, she's rounding you up and dragging you all with her.
Oh, okay.
Come on, everyone. Thank you.
No, she's basically entered. Like, when you and Florian see Scoria, it's like somebody has injected her with adrenaline. She is full of energy.
Oh, and I think she's possessed.
You're fucking hilarious.
How much coffee have you drunken, Scoria?
None? What are you... Florian, what are you suggesting? Of course not. I don't like how bitter it is.
You can get not bitter coffee. Lots and lots of sugar and lots of milk.
Ugh. No.
But then
No
it's
coffee.
just sugary milk.
No coffee.
Sugary
I
milk.
I do not take coffee.
So, you round your group up, and with your almost uncontained level of energy, you effectively drag them with you. You get there, and immediately upon arrival, the section of the diary has been deciphered for you, and it is the layer of sloth that is mentioned.
How big is the layer of sloth?
You take a look at the book, and it seems like layers 2 through 8 are all equal size.
Equally small?
They're quite large.
Which one is sloth?
Remember what is going. It is layer. It's layer 5. It's sandwiched directly in the middle.
That makes sense.
And you do also notice that a additional section of text has appeared on what was previously one of the blank pages.
Oh.
And it gives you a moment of concern as you realize, as the text roughly summarizes to your matron in finding your remaining family.
What?
And it roughly summarizing her thoughts and feelings on having to go through the effort of reuniting you with your lost ones. And it's a bit strange.
We're all reading this right now.
I will presume so, yes. It seems like your matron knew a little bit more than she cared to tell.
She wasn't going to tell me about my grandfather?
Well, I hope this isn't inconvenient, but I did decipher that last page. Seems like there's some magic in place.
No.
It's hiding additional pages.
It is very insightful, thank you.
You don't seem very happy about it.
It is not pleasant information that has been
Oh.
deciphered.
What is this book anyway, if you don't mind me asking?
It is.
It is.
Sorry.
It is the diary of our matron,
Oh,
of our only motherly figure that we have known.
that would make a lot more sense as to what it's talking about. I did try and figure out what was going on with a rough summary, so I could give you a bit of a better synopsis, but it made very little sense to me. So I'll have to ask for your excusing on that one. I thought I would try and make your lives a little easier. And, well,
It's okay, you have done an excellent job.
if you think so, I appreciate it nonetheless.
So, how big is the planet sloth? Asked the librarian.
Oh, well, quite large, I must admit. Certainly no small feat getting across it.
Right.
Although I'm a little confused, I must admit. If you were looking for a particular person, would it not be best to just... No, that's it. Don't mind me, it's a bit stupid. I do hear that if you're trying to, if you're trying to get to a particular place, perhaps he ponders for a moment. Perhaps your best bet would be to go to, there's this, come on, don't forget it now. This is really important. And he's having to take a solid minute to remember.
I thought of a potential way, but I don't think it's something Marcel will be privy to.
You are free to share it out of character.
Sharing out of characters, scrying. Since we have a book belongs to her.
You would need to find somebody powerful enough to scry.
Yes, this is why I would say it's probably something Marcel is not privy to.
Yeah, no, that makes sense. Might be something that the Florian's privy to. But
Wink,
What am I
wink,
privy
hint,
to?
hint. Scrying.
I mean, he is not currently capable of casting scrying spells. That's the only thing. Florian is not strong enough for that yet. I think scrying is a 4th level spell.
I'm privy to it and aware that it is a thing. And
Oh.
therefore we could get someone to
You
do
would
it
be
for
aware
us.
that it's a thing.
Yeah, then.
Let me have a look. Yeah, scrying is a 3rd level spell.
So 3 more levels, and then we'll be there.
Or we just find someone who can scry.
You would have to pay them for it, though. That's the only downside. Anyway,
How much does it cost?
I remember the thing now.
Earthsign friend here, scry?
He does not seem like the kind of person that would be capable of doing so.
Okay.
So, I know that you're not exactly the most travel familiar, but there is a place called Eldoris that might be quite handy if you're looking for a particular arrangement of what's happened with your matron's soul. I also hear that it's quite a popular place for farseers to go to. Though that I don't think any of you are the kind of people that would want your future seen. I know there are some people that like to get spoilers on their life ahead, but could be an interesting place to visit.
So this is where these Farseers come from?
As far as I'm aware, yes. Anyway, I shall leave you to your preparations, or on whatever you're doing. And he leaves you to it.
Gordy, if we go to this place, we might find out more about you.
Yeah, maybe. I think we should definitely go.
So,
Do we know where Eldaris is in the world?
We'll find out.
yeah, you
Next
can
step.
actually go and have a look at that. There's a large world map
In fact, we're in a library.
in this library.
Atlas.
It's on the wall.
Yeah.
There's a massive map on the wall that shows you the whole world.
I'll go look for it.
And you look for it, and you spot it on the island of Karos.
Anyway.
Knowledge we couldn't have.
Knowledge that you guys wish you didn't have.
Oh,
Could be worse.
True.
oh.
You imagine if I turned around to you and went, yeah, your next clue is on Zeliquin.
Oh, fuck off.
Yeah, that's what I would expect to get back. Just like,
You must travel
fuck
to
you,
the plane and head.
no.
Yeah, I would prefer if it was in the sea than on Zeliquin. I would prefer to just.
I mean, I could send you to the deep sea research facility, and I don't think.
To the giant crab.
No. We're not doing this again, Siggy. Platonically, we're not doing this again.
So for those
Not
unacquainted,
again.
I have been convinced for the longest time that near this deep sea research facility there was a giant crab that we were supposedly going to face 2 campaigns ago with Norik and the gang. But we never did.
But I didn't know.
And Lucas refused the existence of a giant crab.
Because you just keep calling it a giant crab.
You said it was a big crab!
I did say it was a
Big-
crab.
big
We're not having this argument. We weren't talking about the giant crab. We were talking about the megalo crab, which is literally a massive
That
crab.
just translates to giant crab.
Shut up.
It does.
We're
That's
not-
true.
We're not
That's what
doing-
mega means.
Yeah, it's like megalodon. It's a megalo crab. Anyway, before this descends and I lose my voice even further trying to derail the derail, yes, your next possible clue in terms of also your own existence, Florian, would be in Eldaris. And you do notice that there in your matron's diary, in Helga's diary, there are a few footnotes on potential locations for where the rest of your families may be. There is a vague mention of Florian's relatives being somewhere on the island of Karos, and it has been honed down to either Eldaris or Aetheris, brain cells. There is a direct mention and knowledge of Marcel's grandfather in Brunswick. There is mention of Hugmug's family on the island of Girathina.
She must have had good reason.
Oh,
to not tell us.
hang on a second. We're on Girathina. Right?
What?
Specifically, it mentions a possibility that Hugmug's origins, I can't remember the name, may come from the city of Orcus.
Orcus.
Very original.
Orkton, Orktown.
A new start. There is mention of Mocha's origins. Although it does. I'm giving a second. I'll find the fucking name of it again.
So we are just going to gloss over the fact that she knew where we came from and didn't say anything.
We'll talk about it later.
Let's address this in a second once I've got the names of things out. The possible origins of Hugmug from Orctus.
I'm just filling in space by
Yeah.
DMing.
No, it's fine. It's fine. Don't worry about filling it. The possible origins of Mocha, either from Quan or from the island of Mathrin, from the possible the capital city of Chasm, and then the origins of Scoria, that potentially route back to the island of Kreitners. Specifically,
Right.
specifically from the town of Elderberg. Let me just write these down for you.
Yes.
Up onto the mic. But it was like, hey, you just drunk like nearly a litre and a half of truffle juice. What if I introduce air into the equation? So, you have possible clues on where your matron, on how to get to your matron, but you also have the opportunity to pursue your own origins as to where you came from, and potentially reunite with the people that your matron has weirdly not introduced you to, which seems a little strange.
I mean, I guess if she's such a high-profile target, she would not want to endanger them? I do not know. I feel like I'm grasping at straws here. And I don't like it.
Well, I mean, are we gonna go and find these people?
Well, we need to gather our strength before we attempt a rescue mission, because I'm pretty sure if we just go straight into the house, we're going to die.
Yeah.
Also, why not adventure around finding out potentially more about our origins?
I think Scoria is right. And we will try and build our strength while we go.
Sounds like fun. Do you want me and Xavier to come with, or is this more of a journey for you guys alone?
Of course you can come with.
If you want to
It's really
join
good.
us, you're perfectly fine to do so.
Why would you not be allowed to come with?
Well, I
You're
don't
part
know.
of the gang.
Hey, I ain't sure. I don't want to assume that we're invited on a journey that you may not want us on. I mean, I wasn't going to say anything, but the big guy does make a point.
Well, I will do that. I guess we could take a vote. I vote you come with.
I mean, up to you guys, really. If you want us to come with, we can. We'll have to probably go and tell me, Ma, though. I'm gonna be gone a little longer. And I guess I will have to be a little bit more cautious. But I guess we're going. I guess the better question is, where are we going to first?
Why not go to Ocus since we are getting after all?
And Mason goes up to the map and points at it. Hey, and it's like right next to us.
Oh, sweet.
And you realize if you follow the ocean, you follow the coast, and the ocean, you basically have a free lead so long as you're going northwards. You have a free lead to Orcus itself.
Fantastic.
Holy fuck, there's a spider.
Mm.
Ah, it fell. It's on my chair.
End it.
No.
Some technical difficulties.
Scoria versus Spider.
Where the fuck did it go?
Test your might.
I don't know where it
Mortal
went.
Kombat.
It's so
Oh god, that made me laugh.
Wow, that
I
laugh
fucking
is adorable.
What, my laugh?
Yes.
I'm fucking dying, man. Okay,
Stop
so,
being romantic. Fucking hell.
romance my pussy.
Romance.
Right,
Romacy.
right, Spider, it's time to die. You invaded my personal space, or I and yours.
You invade my personal space, therefore you get no space. You get space in the vacuum. No. Okay, so. Where do you want to go from here? What would you like to do?
You're...
Finish that sentence.
No.
That's what I thought. So, how would you like to progress from here? You have whatever options you want. You've got free reign over where you want to go and what you want to do. It is entirely your story from here.
Well, I guess
Where's the
we'll go
nearest?
Orcus? Was it Orcus?
Yes, Orcus is on the same island as you.
Maybe called it Octon. If I called it Octon.
Don't call it Orkton. You will piss off the orcs.
Orcus seems like a good plan then.
Do you want me to add the island that these towns are on for future reference?
Yes.
Yeah.
Please do.
Okay. In the meantime, because you guys won't be able to go jumping straight into these, what do you want to do in the meantime?
In the meantime,
Well, yeah, you've
I'll
got
wait
time
for
to spare.
supplies. And I think Florian wants to write a letter.
Florian has written a letter.
Oh, okay.
What he was doing the whole time while you were faffing about with existing, I guess.
Faffing about with a spoiler.
This is a fact.
Fucking hell.
So true.
What's this on? This one. Okay, so you end up heading back to the inn after a little while, and you have free time to pursue whatever you wish. Is there any particular way you wish to spend it?
I know.
Oh, I do. In my cards thing,
Mm-hmm.
there was my parents praying towards Etra or something.
Yes.
But I'd like to go look for information on Etro.
Of course. In the same library that you were at, or you going to
Yeah, probably.
Okay. So you go back and you take a look at the Sorry, I have to excuse my voice to sound a bit coarser now. Do I have any more tropical juice left in the fridge? So I'm not getting off from the chair mid-DMing. Thank you, sweetheart.
No worries.
This is where I find out I've drank.
You've drank like the vast majority of it.
I am an unstoppable unit of... I was gonna say an unstoppable unit of oral consumption, but that sounds very inappropriate. So I'm not gonna finish that sentence any further. So you go and find a book on the gods.
Where is the master?
You... There we go. I've consumed an unholy amount of tropical juice and probably have ridiculously high vitamin C levels, but it's fine.
Vitamin C is good.
Yeah. Except for the fact it inhibits ADHD medication.
Yeah.
That's not so good.
That's fine.
Okay, so you want to learn about Etro. There she is. I was scrolling through my document. You take a look, and she is the goddess of balance, birth, death, chaos, rebirth, and time. And you make note that she is obviously good, in alignment, and she has many a title. The Mistress of Chaos, the Lady of Death, the Queen of Nothing, though it notes in the book that these are often used as most people see Etro as a goddess of death in a very negative light. But she predominantly presides over death, time, and chaos, amongst other things. And you notice something in the texts that takes your fascination. Etro takes the form of a mechanical humanoid that looks like a woman. And it is said that she loves all mortals, whether they worship her, scorn her, or are ignorant to her existence. But she seems to be the one that manages the space between life, death, and rebirth. Though due to people not exactly liking the idea of perishing in the first place, she is seen as mostly negative in nature. And there is mention of the Farseers, Seeresses, and those that practice the art of blade singing. Weaving a symphony of steel with their blades on the battlefield. Etro's personal guard. Or as they're more commonly referred to, her banshees. It seems that Etro is the one that has blessed you with the ability to see into the future. And you're aware that you have the capacity to become a Farseer. But you've never really had much influence from Etro in your life. Is there anything else in particular that you would be looking for within this book?
I don't think so. Yeah, I think that's it.
Okay. I asked the party, is there anything that you would like to do as of this point?
What's Mason get up to at the moment?
What's Mason doing?
Yep.
Nothing too exciting, to be fair. Vast majority of what he's doing is just getting ready to go on an adventure. He's writing a letter to send to his Meemaw.
Okay. I'll have a chat with Mason.
Okay. So you go up to Mason. Yes, my voice. No, sorry, up on the mic. My bad.
And that's rapidly gone.
Okay. Right. You go up to Mason.
So
Well, hello there.
how are you doing?
Not too bad.
How are you holding up with everything that's been going on?
It's crazy, but
It's certainly very crazy.
yeah, but it's an adventure, so it's all fun and games.
Yeah. I guess that's one way to look at it.
Well, it's that or it'd be like, oh no, I'm potentially gonna die. How tragic. As one of my older sisters once said to me, there ain't even if you end up dying early in life, better to die young and have loads of stories that you've been able to tell than live a long life and have no story to tell at the end.
I like that.
Like
It's a good way to live.
yeah, a little bit dangerous, mind you, but
Oh, well, certainly.
a bit more intelligent than me. I remember when I was a kid, I just decided I was gonna headbutt every single tree. 'Cause,
Why?
well, I got horns.
Yeah. True.
It's cause me and my older brothers used to see who could get themselves stuck in the tree. I won, but they couldn't pull me out the tree because my horns got stuck. Me and Ma had to come over and basically rip me out the tree.
When your horn's okay?
I had the bark attached to my horns still, so I'd assume my horns were fine. And I mean, he taps his hand on them. They're fine now. So
If they do break, does they grow back?
depends on how old you are. And depends on how much calcium you have in your system. They can take decades to reheal.
So that was a very irresponsible thing to do.
Well, I was just a little bull at that point. I cannot be held responsible for the actions of past me. He was a dumbass.
That was something I'd say. I used to get into crazy shit all the time.
What, calling yourself a dumbass or
No.
crazy shit?
I mean, before we left, we had this huge, snow fort we built up, and I sieged the fort, and me and Florian were attacking each other with real weapons, which was probably a little bit dangerous.
Yeah, they don't exactly
And they're
sound.
wooden weapons, but you could still seriously hurt someone.
I mean, yeah, they don't exactly look harmless. As he looks at the wooden dagger that's still attached to your belt.
It's a little sharp. You can definitely get splinters from it.
Oh no, the terrifying little mouse who's gonna splinter me. How terrible! You know how many splinters I get maintaining that cart?
2.
Too many. 2 is too many. I have to sand that thing down. I had to put varnish on it. Meanwhile, wanted to get an extra carriage to attach to the back of it. Oh my god. Don't get me wrong, I don't mind doing all the heavy lifting, but
How old is it?
what?
In the car.
Yes. I can't remember. I think it's like 8 years years old at this point.
Very well maintained.
And he counts on his fingers. 6 years old. If you don't count the fact we had to replace the canopy a few months back. By a few months, I mean a couple of years ago. Otherwise,
Also, meanwhile, we'll be buying a new cart with the money we gave her.
somehow I doubt it.
But she still needs one. This one is here.
It's
Let's go
not.
to send it back.
I left it
Did you?
on our next.
Oh.
That's why we haven't traveled anywhere yet. Otherwise, we probably could have hopped on over to Orcus the next day.
So we need to.
Do you know how expensive they are? We ain't gonna be able to afford a cart and maintain it with just what we got. They're just like, no way.
We could join the traveling circus. Not do that as money.
Well, I'm gonna do what Scoria would do here. Tell you that's a stupid idea.
Obviously, it's a stupid idea. It's a joke.
Well, I don't know with you yet. I ain't quite figured out what's sense of humor and what's you being literal.
That's part of my job.
Sure.
Anyway, I just came over to check on how you're doing.
I ain't doing too bad. How are you getting on? I know Florian's gone out to go and find a book on something. He really explained before he left, but
Honestly, a little concerned.
what's that?
Because, as we saw from that book, I mentioned did not tell us about my family. So the grandfather, I would not have met if I had not gone on this adventure.
Oh,
She would
bless
never
you.
have told me.
I'm sorry to hear that.
And I can't think of why.
Well, I got a theory. It might not be right, but I might have an idea.
What is it?
I reckon that she, at some point in her life, found out and just couldn't be bothered. So, I mean, having a kid is a lot of effort. And if something like for you, your parents are gone, but your grandpa was saying that he was struggling with funding or something like that. I can't quite remember.
He was, yes.
I guess your family weren't exactly in a good position at that point, so she'd hand you back. And just giving you back over to your grandpa.
It's not about handing back, it's about knowing that they exist in the first place.
I mean, how do you explain to a child that you can't go back home?
But I'm not a child anymore, and I still do not know. That's what I'm saying.
Well, I mean, under that logic, she's gone so long not saying anything, and you're looking up at her like a mother. It seems a bit weird to just drop that bombshell in the middle of everything.
I guess so.
It's like walking around saying, hey, I'm gonna drop a super powerful spell and blow up your entire house. Oh, wait. Sorry, that was really insensitive.
It's
I didn't
okay.
mean like that.
It's okay. I know you did not mean it.
And he is like, he's like mid-lunge to give you a hug. He's like, oh, right, sorry.
I would like a hug.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
And he lunges, grabs hold of you, and just squeezes you. Yeah. Oh, shoot.
Oh, little time.
Sorry.
It was okay. I enjoyed it.
Well,
Until my voice
just me and you in here.
now.
Florian's off to go get his book. I think Saber's gone for a little
Yes.
jog around the place.
I suppose you're right, though.
What?
I guess I'm just thinking too much.
Well, someone has got to think. I don't do any thinking. I just do.
I'm cursed with intelligence. Too bad I don't use it, eh?
And he chuckles. His usual deep, hearty chuckle. You know, I think
You have a pretty laugh.
I think Scoria, Mocha, and Hugmug are trying to figure out what the best route for our travels is gonna be.
Okay.
I think that's what they were doing next door. So he looks at you with curiosity. So, what was that necklace that Xavier gave you? Do you know?
I don't know. He said it was his mom and dad. Oh.
What? He looks absolutely confused as to what the reaction is about. What?
I believe his parents were cremated. I think I literally was holding his mom and dad.
I mean,
That is a weird thing to think about.
I thought he said he didn't have anything left of his parents or something like that.
He did look kind of ashy.
Is that supposed to be a joke?
No? It's a little glass thing with a stone inside it, and the stone looked a bit rough, like it was ash.
I mean, that's pretty metal if he's. That means he trusts you with his parents, so he must really respect you.
I guess
God
so.
damn, look at you.
Well, I'm glad I did not lose it now.
There are so many terrible bits of dark humor I can make here, but I'm going to choose not to for the sake of not offending you or him if he's somehow in this room listening.
Whoops, sorry, Xavier. I put your parents down and I don't know where I left them. I would have had an awkward conversation.
Yeah, I mean, first off, you'd have to explain to him that they're been put down for the second time.
Oh my god, Jesus!
Sorry, was that a bit? Sorry.
Jesus!
And Mason had a rather coy, awkward smile on his face and was, sorry, I thought it was funnier in my head, I swear.
I need to teach you about dark humor. And where the line is as well.
Okay.
It is okay. You will learn.
Yeah.
I imagine they just continue walking into the night.
Yeah. For the sake of, because I am starting to struggle to project my voice, we are going to wrap up session then. But also because that's a good ending point. As Scoria, Hugmug, and Mocha are figuring out where to go and how you want to get there. Florian is sitting in the library reading a book on Etro and trying to figure some bits and pieces out. And Marcel and Mason are chit-chatting, eventually joined by Xavier as he returns from his walk. A new dawn is approaching. New missions, new adventures will be beginning.
Next time on.
Shut up. During our next session. See you then. Hopefully I'll have my voice back by then.
You
Yeah.
will.
Okay, you fucking hope.
I certainly fucking
You
hope.
wish.
Anyway,
Love you.
bye.
Bye.
Bye bye.